started. Welcome everybody to room 2. As you may have noticed, there has been a small change of plans. This means abstract technology, so me and my team. We will now present the talk Promotion of Vocational Training for Young People through e-learning. And yes, questions you can ask in the chat via the chat on the left-hand side. Please make sure that you send the messages to everyone, and please add and please in the following format, so that you write abstract colon and then your question. So I will paste in an example. So in this format, you can then write your questions so that we can go through them at the end of the talk. Okay. So now, Stefania, then please go ahead and start. I
Sure,
hope.
sure. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for being here with us today. As Nicole said, we have to quick improve 1 hour early our talk about vocational about this project, is AU project. So today, with Nicole Kessler and my colleague Ilaria Botti, our talk is about our experience in designing and implementing a vocational orientation program for young students, using not only the Open edX platform, but also using the philosophy of learning of Open edX and other open source community. So we have our talk is mainly to explain this European project. In details, Nicole will explain what we really have done. We have a part in this talk talking about the instructional design, how Ilaria approach creating the courses for the e-learning platform has been solved. And I will try to explain at the beginning and the end why we are talking to this event, and why we will need the community and the open source philosophy to help us if you want to improve this open and free program in online learning for teenagers. So, as if you remember, Anand Agarwal during the last Open edX community event said that we are now in front of three big shifts. One step was because the pandemic, the online learning is a step ahead. So it's really important to learn something new. The digitalization and upskilling in a current job or replacing schooling has been very important. The second problem faced by Agarwal was the blended learning as the new normal. Quite important definition he used. And then the importance of essential human skills in corporate learning. This means technical skills and soft skills. So we looked at the same trends in our experience, and we decided to put into practice our knowledge to realize a project with the aim of meeting these challenges and supporting young people in their vocational orientation path. But before Nicole will explain the project in details, I will do a step ahead about the story of this program and project. Because we started in 2019, it has been a discussion between some service provider and abstract competitors, so to say, in our open source communities about how to solve the tech talent shortage in different companies and countries. So the question we have had is why tech companies face difficulties finding software developers, especially in Europe. A study, for example, by the Federal Employment Agency find out that vacancies for programmers and software developers stay open for around 187 days before a suitable candidate is hired. In January 2020, for example, there has been in Germany 120,000 open vacancy for IT specialists, and 87% of these professions as software developer, software architect, cloud architects, or whatever are men. So this tech talent shortage is a big problem in Germany, but not only because we are a German company, which we started with this project. This is also a problem probably worldwide, but for sure in Europe, so in UK, in Norway, in Holland. The technology sector is known for its rapid growth and innovation, making it a difficult task to hire skilled workers at the same pace, in my opinion. And furthermore, the skills and knowledge of developers can quickly become outdated as technology progresses. And many complex technologies and software today require, of course, deep specialization. So, how can we help this problem? How can we approach this problem together for our work, for our communities, for all of us? Nicole will now go deeper in some more details. Please, Nicole, you can go ahead.
Exactly. Thank you, Stefania. Um, yeah, exactly. Our idea then became concrete, and we applied for an Erasmus Plus program, the EU program for education, training, youth, and sports. And as Stefania mentioned before, in Europe, there are fewer and fewer people working in the IT sector. And this is becoming a major problem for every IT company. So if we don't take care of the next generation, we won't be able to drive forward many IT developments in evolving fast enough. The remote work culture, also during this pandemic situation, was or is likely to become difficult for especially less experienced workers or newbies, such as young people. They need to improve and keep their skills always up to date. With our application and our idea, a holistic vocational orientation program, we want to tackle exactly this problem. The project name is IT on Board and stands for IT Community Onboarding Program, Vocational Orientation for Young People. Yes, I know that is quite a long name for just one project, but let me say this, its scope does it justice. So with this program, we want to ensure that young people choose IT professions since it introduces young students in the age between 14 to 18 years to IT career orientation possibilities with the focus on open source software communities, as among others, Diplone and the Open edX community, but also any other open source community. The onboarding program extends from a gamified career orientation activity to in-depth e-learning to facilitating the involvement of companies and practical components. We want to ensure that there are more vocational orientation opportunities for students in the format of, for example, internships throughout Europe. And additionally to that, we would like to sensitize the open source communities to welcome these young people in its operations and in its doings, um, so that they can, yeah, so that they can get a holistic insight into the diverse professions and career paths which the IT sector offers, and also before everything, so before any academic or non-academic decision is made. And also, we want to encourage young women and young men to choose consciously their future profession in order to reduce the dropout rate from vocational education and training. We aim to achieve these set goals with the following intellectual outputs, which will guide a student from a gamified experience through first-hand experiences in schools, like workshops for multiple days, or just for one day, or for a full week, including potential analysis and career interest tests, to e-learning courses for 3 different jobs in the IT sector, which is of course just a small insight into the overall image, to European-wide internship options via a platform which connects interns with global companies as well as internship guidelines for companies. Currently, we are in a beta testing phase, which we put in which we put the prototype of the project through its paces. Once this loop is finished, we will launch the project probably around February 2022. So it's soon to be launched. And we will keep it up for at least 1 year. Exactly. So far about the project itself. And now I hand over to Iladia, and she will tell you how we use the Open edX platform for the realization of the online trainings and what challenges we had to overcome.
Yes, thank you, Nicole. Hi, everyone. So now I will present you, as Nicole said, how do we use the OpenEdX platform for realizing this project, and in particular the online learning courses. Um, Let me know. Learning experience design should help us to get people to learn, keep them learning, and make sure the learning sticks in particular. We humans are hardwired to delay, not take learning seriously, and see the rewards as too far in the future to matter. So we have to apply different methods and processes to overcome procrastination, distraction, and also the tendency to forget most of which we think we have learned. OpenEdX allows us to implement instructional design techniques and lead us to an active learning approach. For us, this means in particular that we applied the different formats, as you know, the components to the course flow, such as, for example, video interview, audio and podcast, interactive content like flip cards, drag and drop, or in video quizzes and surveys. Now let me show you one of these components, and in particular the flip cards that we embedded in the first beta courses named The Job of a Project Manager in the IT Sector. This example of a component strengthens in particular the students' knowledge and puts their attention on a real situation. In fact, the students have to keep on a specific task, discover the cards, listen to the description, and try to develop a sketch of an ideal project manager. After that, they are also invited to reflect and make their experience through an online search. For example, there is a call to action: browse the web, and you could also explore some LinkedIn profiles. This is our call to action. The goal of the active learning approach in this course, but in general, is to keep all students engaged in different activities centered around the writing, talking, problem solving, or reflecting. But another important goal for us is promoting self evaluation and accountability through different kinds of exercise and surveys. The OpenEdX platform also facilitates the possibility of phasing the attention span of this particular target group, young people, you know. But it's not the only challenge we experienced. And so, which challenges did we experience in this project? For us, it was quite challenging to get to know the target group's learning needs and habits in order to design an appealing and engaging online learning experience. We are aware of the difficulty, in particular, to involve this group of people, young people at the secondary school. And so we decided to use, first of all, a different wording. For example, we ask ourselves, what is syllabus for young people? So we decided to change, for example, with the course structure instead of syllabus. And also we use more images instead of text to catch their interest. Now, at the end of the first course pilot development, we gave access also to a group of beta testers, and we collected feedback from them. As you can see, the course was very appreciated in general for the structure, the language, and the contents. But instead, there were two main critical points, and in particular, the length of the text to read and the audio quality of the flip cards. And now, with these important inputs from our beta tester, we are keeping to improve the course and take care of them for further developments. So, what we have learned from this first beta tester phase? First of all, the importance of a good storyboarding. In a learning design process, it is not necessary to create the full narrative, but we have to provide goals and directions. We need a simple and global background storyboard linked to the learning goals. The second point is that the engagement is a mix of emotion, motivation, and attention. We have to look in particular at the gaming design that has a lot of teaching about this. What game designers often do is to insert different elements into a game to provide links or feedback from one step to another. With a mix of motivational inputs, for example, in our course, a recap after each section and applause helps us to give an inputs and the incentives, like a sentence, for example, related to the personal evaluation. At the final evaluation, we added, this is only a flashlight today, to incentive our students. We tried to develop an immersive scenario for learners. Another point is self-evaluation for learners. We have to allow students to apply what they have learned, and first of all, it's also fundamental to provide them awareness and accountability. And final, the continuous optimization. This should be something well known, but sometimes we could forget the importance of testing and collecting feedback from future learners. So the importance of beta testers. And now I don't want to reveal everything, so I'm going to let Stefania speak about why do we think this project can be interesting for the community.
Thank you, Ilaria. I take over again. And this is the part Ilaria described is quite important. Think about it, planning a course with this kind of approach and analysis and concept take around about 2 months. Also preparing a lot of different components in different format, because very often we had to offer different content in 2-3 formats for this target group, for example. But this is a technical maybe and instructional design discussion, so please feel free to ask in the chat or after that if you have more particular question on that. I want to now try to recap and explain, as mentioned before, what happens with this program and why we are presenting this project here in this event. So our main objective is to increase the awareness of open source technology in generally, as well as the community behind of it, because young people, primarily in this case, primarily based in Europe, can learn from this experience. The IT on board will be an alternative to traditional career orientation programs, and it should be and will be open for all communities worldwide. It is therefore obvious that we would also like to call the attention from you here to this project. How do we want to call the attention? First of all, we are proud to launch a free learning open edX platform for teenagers and help them to find the right vocational orientation in the IT path. We need you to help to determine what careers are available. For example, if you use the internship exchange platform that will connect, for example, interns and companies together in this project. And it will be helpful to help the teenagers to find the right interest and the skills they have or they need to develop for their for their career. So we need to offer a range of resources to help young people to understand the learning needs and career options. We will like if you help us to spread the word about the IT program, promote free and qualitative education and orientation for all. And third, connect open source community and philosophy to help young people growing and connecting each other. For example, creating a talent training center for open edX for young people. This can be discussed as open idea in the marketing group, for example. So, recap everything. We are interested if you want to be an ambassador or a reviewer for this program and project. You can apply as a company or educational institution interested into this. The platform will facilitate the arrangement of internship between interns and company, help to offer an internship place in your company, and discover the positive effect of teenager part-time training. You can apply as a beta tester. This will be great. And think about that learning journey starts with a story. So a learning journey starts with a story. Maybe it could be your story. So share with us your learning or career path in form of an interview. Help teenager with your voice to make important decisions that are relevant for their future. So talk to us, contact us, and we will find an appointment with you and discuss it in details. So thank you very much for joining us. We are now open for any questions you have. Maybe Nicole can go through if there has been some question. I see room 2, there is one. I saw many university in my country. Papa, was it? I have to
Morocco
go back.
who
I
want
cannot
to
find it.
yeah.
I saw many universities in my country, Morocco, want to rely on open edX, but it was a mess due to the complexity. Is it for us the question, Ali? Ali? Maybe is intended room 1 because probably is room 1.
Mm. Yeah, as I said, in case you have any question, write it in with abstract and then colon and then your question. I think this is better to avoid any misunderstandings or so.
Mhm.
Okay, in case you want to let this sit and you want to digest, so-called digest the presentation, then we are also on a carpet, on carpet E, I think, in the front room, in the come in area, and And there we are available also to answer your questions in case something pops up during the conference day or exactly during the next minutes.
Okay. So thank you very much for coming. See you soon.
I
Contact
hope you
us
enjoyed exactly.
Yes,
and enjoy the event. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
thank you.
So, okay.